What's up, guys? Today we're doing an operator tier list for the defenders in Operation Deep Freeze, talking about all the changes in Operation Deep Freeze, and yeah, we're ranking the ops of the defenders, going top left and working our way down. All right, we got Alibi. I'm going to place her safely at the B tier. Good gun, speed, but bailiff, and then not really much else in terms of utility. So I feel like Alibi is, just the middle of the road. Aruni, defender DMR with gates. The only thing that makes me want to place her lower is her speed is kind of bad, and her ability is a little bit. Her gates aren't super useful, but defending DMRs are going to be really, really good. Now let's do Tubarao, where I think Tubarao is going to be. Tubarao, I think, is an. No, he's not. He's not D tier. Tubarao is going to be. I think Tubarao is an S tier, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to explain why. Tubarao is probably one of the most flexible operators in the game other than Azami. You can use your ability in so many different ways. Stopping the wall. You can use it to delay time. You can use it to nitro people from underneath if you're a psychopath like I'm going to be. You have another defending DMR, and you're fast. And you have a nitro, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned. So I think Tubarao is going to be really strong. Tubarao is the definition of I'm going to run around and fry your entire enemy team. So Tubarao, S tier. Azami, S tier. I mean, Azami has been broken since she's been around. Azami's by far one of the strongest operators in the game. Same with Solus. Same with Fenrir. I gotta put those three next to each other because this is the trio of, if you don't ban these guys, people are playing them. And it's very annoying. They are the strongest operators on defense, which is why the defense meta is a thing. Bandito. We're gonna place Bandit at the B tier. There's a lot of situations where bandits are super strong, but there's not that many of those situations. And bandit trick, like I'm talking about specifically bandit tricking. Bandit tricking is super useful, but doesn't happen very often. Because with Cade is a way better operator at keeping walls closed. Unless you are tricking. So, Cade, S tier, Bandit, B tier. How should you guys feel about that? But let me know. Valkyrie, I am placing Valkyrie. This is going to be some hot takes in a second. I'm placing Valkyrie at A tier. Never mind. I got to place Valkyrie S tier. It's just, if I place Valkyrie at S tier, there's only one tier above for me to put this next person. And it's just the same tier as Valkyrie. And I feel like this operator is going to be better than Valkyrie. But I'll place Valkyrie at S tier, because the way there are cameras, you can place them anywhere, and then you run around, you have an MPX, speed, and nitro. Sure. Maestro is probably one of the strongest defenders in the game for Operation Deep Freeze. Let me explain why. He has an LMG on defense. Yeah, okay, that's not new SenVale. He's a bailiff, so you can set up the site. Okay. He's impacts. I mean, we know this. Why is Maestro S tier now? Well, Maestro's cameras shoot longer. They have a longer battery, so they are able to down people from 100 health to 0, so you cannot ignore them at all. And you get another camera. So Maestro's going to have 3 cameras in Operation Deep Freeze. So this is why I'm going to be personally banning Maestro a lot, because there's a lot of cameras. Then, okay, you just destroy the cameras? What utility are you going to use to destroy these cameras, might I ask? Let's say if I want to play Maestro, I ban Brava. What are you going to do? Grenading the cameras. Yeah, there's a lot of operators with grenades, but grenading the cameras are hard because you can't cook them. So I've tried to grenade these cameras in the test server. It is very hard to make sure your grenade hits that Maestro cam, because that thing rolls and you cannot cook the grenade. So you have Ash, you have Zofia, walk up to it and sledge it. But let's say you put the cameras next to each other. You can shoot the hell out of the sledge before he gets them off. And then the sledge is almost dead. And you were completely safe the entire time. So I think S tier. That is why I kind of ran a little bit. Castle, I think Castle is again near that. I think I'm gonna place Castle at the C tier. And listen, C tier is not necessarily bad. C tier is not bad. It's just not. It's either A, bad, or B, doesn't happen as often as you would need to. And I think for ranked, there's not that many opportunities that you're going to need a Castle. Castle can be round changing, but I don't think that Castle has to be played every single round. Like, Operator's higher on the list. You put Valkyrie A personally. See, that's why I was hovering with Valkyrie. I kind of agree. When I'm comparing Valkyrie to Maestro, it makes me want to place Valk slightly lower. So I will. Vera, D tier, don't do it. In fact, I gotta place Castle at B tier. I can't place Castle that close to Cav. No way. Ella, I can place Ella at C tier. Cav is probably the most fun operator to play on defense, but is very not needed most of the time. Ella is very fast. Her gun is good. Her proc slimes are useful, but she's just also not very... she can be strong, but it's... I don't know. I think C tier Ella is fair. Legion, I'm going to place... This is for ranked. Remember, this is for ranked. I'm placing Legion at S tier. Legion has a good gun. His ability is very good in ranked at all levels because you stop the crouch walk, you know when people are coming, and you have impacts with decent speed. I think Legion is a very easy S tier. Mira, I agree. Mira is A tier. Why is Mira not S tier, SenVale? Well, Ashe is going to be a must pick every game because if they ever bring a Mira, you can just Ashe breach the mirror and the mirror is broken. Or you can Kali. Any attacker utility that can burrow into a wall, like a Kali charge or an Ashe charge, will destroy the Mira now. And Legion has super shorty. You can set up the site, you have speed, and you stop all the crouch walking in the game. So, ranked C is the definition of the best ranked defender in my eyes, other than like Fenrir and these three. Doc, I'm placing Doc at the A tier. I love a good old Doc. Those heals are so nice. You have a good MP5 and you can set up. There's nothing wrong with having a Doc nowadays, especially in the current meta. Clash, I think, goes right next to good old Cav because Clash basically is the reason why Clash has a terrible win rate. I mean, you just do not win when you have a Clash in your team the vast majority of the time. Castle B tier, what? Should Castle be lower? Castle definitely shouldn't be higher. Should be A at least? No, because this is... S tier is always good. Pick them on any given round. A tier is pick them most of the time, but not every round. B tier is can be strong, but definitely more situational. That's all his definition. Like he's the definition of a situational picked up. You do not instant pick Castle every round, every map. No. But Castle can be strong. But no. Thorn. I feel like Thorn is the I don't know how to describe this. Thorn is a very strong fragger. If you can shoot your gun, Thorn is going to rip people apart. And barbed wire and the utility itself is kind of mid. I can't place Thorn higher in the list. Captain is S tier. You can potentially get freebies, especially in ranked. Like, and your gun is good in Nitro. Can't really beat the Captain. Wamai is not A tier. Wamai is S tier. Wamai is the best grenade denial in the game currently when it comes to ranked. Jaeger is strong as well, but in the current meta, Jaeger is slightly weaker than Wamai because the meta is more gunfighty and map holding than just holding a shield down. Jaeger is at best A tier, and that's me being generous. In fact, I kind of want to place Jaeger lower because he's situational, holding the shield down. Like, let's say you go elbow, you run a smoke shield with a Jaeger. Well, let's say they have a Flores, they destroy all your ADSs. Well, mines, that's not an issue because you can throw them like crazy all over the place. It's less of an issue. Goyo, I'm going to place Goyo at the A tier. He is a little bit more situational, but Goyo is a fragger. That Vector with the 1.5 and impacts, even if you don't really use the Goyo fires in the correct way, I mean, you could just run around and frag, and you leave your Goyo fires at sight. It's very intuitive on how to use these fires. If they're pushing through the door, you shoot the Goyo fire, and anyone near the fire can't do anything for 20 seconds. So there you go. Can't really go wrong with Goyo. Not hard. Mute, easy S tier. Easy S tier. Easy S tier. Anti-intel. Dealing with Mute is probably one of the most annoying operators in the game to have to run into. We'll never ban him, but Mute is goddamn annoying. Jaeger's usually only good for shield shots. Yeah, I agree. Echo. Maestro, I feel like, just does this job better, but Echo is still really strong as a camera operator because he can drone your team around. I honestly want to almost place Echo higher, but I'm not going to. Echo will be A tier. I want to place Echo at S tier, but I'm going to place Echo at A tier because people can be mad. Lucy, I feel like Fender does Malusi's job better in every way, so Malusi's going to be B tier because Fender exists. Fender is banned. Malusi's not necessarily a bad option, but so we're in Plat. No, we're top 100 champion. Technically, 7th highest rank in North America, but I was told that today, but it's not wrong. Mozzie. I need to place the Mozzie for normal ranks. I'm placing the Mozzie at C tier. This is a. I'm gonna say Mozzie is C tier because Mozzie can be really good, but it requires the person to be good. You need to be able to shoot your gun really well because Mozzie doesn't bring much else otherwise. Like, Mozzie's ability is mid. You're really picking him for his gun. I gotta place Mozzie higher because I know Mozzie's potential is a lot higher than putting him at C tier. I can't place him next to Ella. I just can't do it. The Chonka is going to be at the C tier. He's not a throw up, but he's not the best operator in the game to play. His LMG is kind of nuts, but his ability is so goddamn mid. So mid. With how you play Echo, I'd place him at S tier, but that's a player thing. Yeah, but like, I can do that as any operator in S tier, like, besides maybe like Lamai and Mute. Like, all these operators, I can do it. But I want to place Echo at S tier, but I gotta just place him at the A tier next to like the Valkyrie. And yeah, I can't place him above Valkyrie. All right, more defenders. Frost. Frost, to me, is an easy A tier operator. Shield for your smoke. Actually, I'll place, yeah, Frost. I was debating S tier, but shotgun instead of the sight, shield, and good gun. Honestly, it hurts me not to place Frost higher, but I'm gonna leave Frost at A tier. What else we got? Let me finish getting the operators on the board before we start talking about who's going up and down. Oryx, I'm placing at C tier. Too situational. Just too situational. It's like most of the time I see people running Oryx, I think just go Legion, bro. Just be Legion. Oryx is not a bad op, but Legion just does everything Oryx does, but better. And has more utility. Oryx is really good on maps like Bank, where there's a lot of verticality and a lot of retake potential. But the map has to have a lot of retake potential for Oryx to really shine. Pulse is a B tier. Can be really strong, can be really weak. It depends on the player and depends on how much the enemy team knows and cares about you. But can be game changing. But I can't place Pulse higher than B tier. B tier is generous for Pulse. Smoke. I am placing Smoke. Remember, this is a ranked tier list. Remember that. Smoke is A tier. I have to specify this is a ranked tier list because Smoke should always be a S tier operator. But with the current meta being very fast, loose, and aggressive, a lot of times you play Smoke, you are going to be left in a situation where you are having to fight long range angles and everybody's pinning you down. And I just think that most of the time for ranks, there are better options. When I think Smoke is an S. I can't do it. I try to justify it. I just can't do it. Smoke is not a throw pick. Smoke is one of the best operators in the game. And I try to justify it. But, like, someone has to bring him a shield. And it's like, and you get pinned. But, like, Smoke still, I still think Smoke is S here. I'll allow it. I tried to rationalize what Smoke was lower, but I couldn't do it. Rook C tier. When you pick a Rook, you might as well just be playing Doc instead. Doc does so much more and is a bailiff. Yeah, Smoke is A/S tier in champ lobby 5 stacks. If you are around a plat or lower potentially, Smoke is not a must pick operator. I'm talking about when you have a coordinated stack playing against a coordinated stack, Smoke can be really strong. Rook better than Doc? Oh no! Rook is horrible compared to Doc. Warden, Warden I'm gonna be placing at the B tier. Considering he counters probably one of the best initiators in the game, Ying, and his gun is pretty good, and he has a nitro. I can't place him higher than an operator like let's say Mozzie, because I feel like they kind of function the same way. They're gonna be B tier. Rook gives everyone extra help instead of 3. Rook only gives everyone 20 extra help, while Doc full heals people. Full heals, which is insane. Thunderbird. Thunderbird to me is D tier. Because Doc exists. There's no point in ever being Thunderbird. Useless. Just useless. Am I wrong with that? Let me know. But I think Thunderbird is useless. Or at best, a C tier. But I wouldn't... If I see a Thunderbird on my team in ranks, I think that person is a noob. You have to be right next to Doc. Doc is normally in the middle of sight. So as long as you're not being a crouch walker across the map like a noob, I assume that you're a good player. Doc is going to be somewhat near you. Vigil. I gotta place a Vigil next to the Cav. Like, I just don't see much of a point in bringing a Vigil in the current meta. He can be good. You can get away with it. I mean, same with like Cav. You can get away with it. But does that mean you should pick this operator every single round, no matter what? No. No. I think that's it for defenders. Yeah, that's it. If you're going to roam, you're going to need Rook. If you're going to roam, I assume you're a noob. If you can't make it back to site. Trust me, the Rook arm is not going to... It doesn't mean that. It doesn't. Doc is way more effective. Way more use. Trust me, if you ask anybody at a high level elo or at any level of play, people will agree Doc is a way better operator in every situation. If you guys disagree, let me know that in the comments down below, and let me know how you guys feel about the list. Tubarao at the S tier. This is not in any order other than like up and down. Like, don't pay attention to like what order they're in. But here's the order of the list. There's a reason why there's a defending defending meta. I mean, there's a lot of strong S tier operators to pick from. And even if you don't, I mean, A tier are still stacked as hell. Anyways, guys, make sure to comment, subscribe, and leave a like down below for more, and let me know who you guys would move up or down. Peace out. Until next time.